Man, we are here. Back in the building with some more hot content, dope content, news that you can use. And now you Sambos are catching the blues. Yeah, it's King Supreme TV. What's happening? First thing in the morning, let's get it. Hey, man, it's beautiful, man. I woke up this morning feeling good, you know, feeling great. Time to elevate your mind. But shout out to all my foundational Black Americans out there. We stand on business. Oh, man. You might not agree with everything that I do, but when it really counts, King Supreme gonna stand on business, 10 toes. You know? Shout out to True Warrior Spirit in the building. You already know. Hey, man, this show gonna be, hey, we're gonna come with a lot of hard-hitting facts, man. The hard-hitting facts. Gonna knock you out in the first round. Pound for pound, the best in the game. King Supreme. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix this. Shout out to all my people that's been rocking. Man, I did that show yesterday, man, about Louisiana, and I'm gonna do a part two. I'm gonna do a part two, man, where we talked about ICE raids in New Orleans, the Latino population growing, and what Black people need to look out for, what foundational Black Americans need to look out for, not only in Louisiana, the deep South. You know, they want to dump these immigrants in our communities. See, at one time, people thought, said, man, that's only a West Coast thing, man. I said, yeah, for now, but eventually this problem will spread. It will spread. And you're witnessing it right now. Was in Atlanta, Georgia. Seen a bunch of immigrants out there. You got a bunch of Arabs, Mexicans, Venezuelans, all in Atlanta. So it's not just a West Coast thing anymore, man. Joe Biden got in office and every state became a border state. Got immigrants running around everywhere. But I will do a part two today, man. But what I need you guys to do is hype the video. Make sure that you guys hype all my videos, man, and get them in the algorithm. And we're going to do some great work over here on King Supreme. We get down and dirty, but we stay so clean at the same time. Yeah, he said Mexicans came to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, man, because they did a lot of that construction out there, right? That's exactly what happened. And then when Joe Biden got in office, more of them came. They brought even more of them over there. He said, after I left to Chicago. Shout out to you, my brother. But on today's show, man, we're going to talk about the Somalians and Pan-Africans having hatred for foundational Black Americans. Yeah, man, we preaching the gospel this morning, man. The gospel, the unfiltered truth. That's what you're gonna get when you tap into King Supreme. We get down and dirty, but we stay so clean at the same time. I appreciate everybody, man, for sliding through. Let's get those numbers up, man. Then we're gonna dive right in. You know. Oh, yeah. He said, I never saw Latinos until I moved to Chicago. Yeah, man. If you from New Orleans, you never seen them. And the crazy part about it is Louisiana is right next door to Texas. So you would think that Louisiana would have a high population of Latinos because they're next door to, Texas, right? New Orleans is still majority Black. Exactly. It's like 60% Black. But what I'm saying is this. You're right about that. But see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I want people to realize. In the year 2000, in the early 2000s, the Latino population was only 3% in Louisiana, in New Orleans. Now it's up to 10%. So they got a growing population, and it's mainly due to illegal immigration, anchor babies. That's how their population grows. So when you think about immigrants being dumped in FBA communities and FBA cities, that's something that people need to we need to pay close attention to that, right? Because you don't want New Orleans and Atlanta to start looking like Texas, to start looking like Los Angeles. So it's all about prevention. We want to stop these things from happening. Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris. I feel you. I feel you. But let's get into this content right here. Um, Somalians and Pan Africans disrespecting foundational Black Americans. Now, one thing that I noticed about the Pan African community, they got a lot of hatred for Tariq Nasheed and foundational Black Americans because this is the thing. Tariq Nasheed got a lot of influence, right? Drink my water real quick. Hold on. Oh, they're in Atlanta. You go to Buford Highway. Let me tell you something, brother. You go to Buford Highway in Atlanta, you're going to see a lot of Hispanics on Buford Highway in Atlanta. You go to Gwinnett County in Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta, you're going to see a lot of Hispanics for sure. You know, I was there, spent a lot of time out there earlier this year and last year. So I've seen it. But anyway, let's get the Pan Africans got a lot of hatred for Tariq Nasheed, and this is why. This is why. One of many reasons. This is why. Tariq Nasheed got a lot of influence, right? Young people rock with Tariq Nasheed, middle age and older. So Tariq Nasheed can get the people in their early 20s, the people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So they're thinking like, how is it that this man has so much influence, right? Documentaries, meetups, pull-ups, and people pull up in droves to support whatever Tariq Nasheed got going on. And the Pan-African community, they don't like that because this is the thing. When it comes to Pan-Africans, you only see old people at those rallies. You're not going to see beautiful sisters. You're not going to see young, energetic people. When you go to those Pan-African movements, it's mainly people in their 40s and 50s. The Pan-Africans can attract how could I say this? Young people don't rock with the Pan-African movement, and the youngsters, the next generation, the up and coming generation, they're the future. So if you can't reach the youngsters, you got a dead movement. You don't have an audience. What you have is a bunch of old people who've been around, but the movement is not growing. Matter of fact, Pan-Africanism is dead, and foundational Black Americans is on the rise. We're growing. They're talking about SBA. They're talking about SBA on hip hop stations, Fox News, mainstream media outlets. Foundational Black Americans is everywhere. Pretty soon, you're not going to see Black folks, FBA people marking African American. That is obsolete. You know, see, identifying with Africa, when you say I'm an African American, that makes it easy for them to compare you to a foreigner because you're African American. White folks don't call themselves European Americans. What they say is we're Americans. We are white Americans. You never hear whites in America say that I'm a European American unless they come straight from Europe. But the white people who was born here never call themselves European Americans, right? Because they don't want to be looked at as foreigners. So foundational Black Americans we shouldn't be looked at as foreigners either, because we are not foreigners, right? So when we call ourselves African Americans, that is problematic. That's problematic. And the Pan Africans are jealous of foundational Black Americans because of all the influence we have. And this is only the beginning. We are waking a lot of people up. The movement is growing. A lot of people recognize foundational Black Americans. You got people in other countries talking about foundational Black Americans. That's how much influence we have. And shout out to Tariq Nasheed, man, for putting out Hidden Colors, Microphone Check. Tariq Nasheed pulled up to the platform, man. This was like, was it the beginning of 24? I believe this was the beginning of 2024. Tariq Nasheed pulled up and chopped up some game on the platform and destroyed Dr. Cologne for spreading those lies about Latinos being co-founders in hip hop. So yeah, that was a good thing. It was beautiful. Tariq Nasheed pulled up to the platform and destroyed Dr. Cologne for spreading that nonsense. So the Pan-African movement is dead. Pan-Africanism is dead. Rest in peace to Pan-Africanism. We're foundational Black Americans, and we're going to stand on business all day, every day, 7 days a week, 365. ADOS is dead, though. We rocking with ADOS. ADOS is like, let me say this about ADOS. I don't even gonna talk about ADOS because that's irrelevant right now. It's all about FBA. It's FBA or nothing, right? Either get with the program and get lost, either ride with us or get rolled on and get rolled over. Plain and simple. We with the business, 10 toes down. Foundational Black Americans, FBA or nothing. Ride with us. Either you ride with us or you get rolled on. You ride for me, I'll roll for you. Yeah. Hit that like button. He said, remember that. That was epic, Red. Yeah, man. Tariq pulled up. Dr. Cologne was making videos. Listen, Dr. Cologne reported my channel. I'm going to show you how hard in the paint I've been going for FBA. Dr. Cologne reported my channel to YouTube and said that FBA is a hate group. And I'm a member of Foundational Black Americans and FBA is a hate group. Dr. Cologne reported my channel to YouTube. Dr. Cologne said that I was racist towards Latinos and FBA is a hate group. And I'm spreading anti-Latino racism to my FBA crowd. Dr. Cologne reported my channel to YouTube. So when it comes to this FBA thing, I've been on the front lines, man. People reported my channel. Matter of fact, Red Supreme TV 1, my main channel, got flagged. Tommy Sotomayor flagged my channel. Reported my channel to the white folks. Red Supreme got a strike. I got a strike on Red Supreme TV 1. I can't even go live over there because Tommy reported my channel. Dr. Cologne reported my channel because I was going hard in the paint about hip hop being a foundational Black American creation with no co-founders. So I've been going hard in the paint for FBA for a minute. You know, this ain't no gimmick with me. I've been doing this for a minute. I didn't hop on the bandwagon because it was popular. I started making FBA content because I'm passionate about my people. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in. You ride for me, I'll roll for you. Dr. Cologne reported my channel. Tommy Sotomayor reported my channel. And a few other tethers reported my channel. These ain't the only people that reported my channel. Tethers. There was a few tethers who've been reporting my channel. Tethers been reporting my channel as well, saying that Red Supreme is spreading hatred towards Latinos and Africans. Imagine that. They say I'm spreading hatred towards Latinos and Africans. FBA is a hate group. That's what they're saying. Hey, man, let's get on with the content, though. Let's talk about Somalians and their hatred that they have for foundational Black Americans and the hatred that Pan-Africans see. Pan-Africans are just jealous. Nobody watches their content unless they're talking reckless about FBA. If Pan-Africans ain't talking reckless about FBA, nobody listens to them. That is a dead movement. What do you mean back to Africa? Back to Africa? What do you mean? Foundational Black Americans, we're not Africans. So how are we going to go back to somewhere that we've never been? Now, some of us have traveled to Africa, but the point is none of us were born in Africa. Our parents weren't born in Africa. Our grandparents wasn't born in Africa. Our great-great-grandparents was not born in Africa. We're not Africans. Culturally, we're not Africans. We have no connection to Africa. So why do we call ourselves African Americans? See, when we allowed these people to call ourselves, when we allowed these people to label us African Americans, we put ourselves in a trick bag. Because now we look like foreigners when we say that we're African Americans, when really we have no connection to Africa, besides the fact that some of us might have blood ties to Africa, but none of us are from Africa. Our legacy, our history starts right here in America as foundational Black Americans. See, this is the thing. See, Jamaicans can be Jamaicans. Nobody forces Jamaicans to call themselves Africans, even though that was the first place that they took. One of the first places that they took Africans was to Jamaica, was to Haiti, the Caribbean. But Caribbeans are not forced to label themselves Africans. They're trying so hard to call us Africans. Why? Because they don't want to give us reparations. So calling us Africans is pretty much like saying these people are foreigners. They don't deserve reparations. This is our land right here. Blood, sweat, and tears. We've been in this country for centuries. That ain't no coincidence, people. They're fighting hard to label us Africans. They don't do that to Jamaicans. They don't do that to Haitians. They don't do that to Black Caribbeans. We're the only group outside of Africa that they want to force this African term on, because we're the most powerful group. We're the most influential group. We have the most influence. That's why they fight so hard to label us Africans, so that we don't understand our history right here in this country. Please wake up and understand that. Let's get to the content. I know I've been talking for a minute, but I had to get it off my chest.
Hold on, Pete, man. Sorry.
Trump is about to deport hundreds of Somali Americans right now.
Hold on, Pete, man. Sorry.
Moving on, 64 Somalis arrived at the JKIA today after being deported from the United States. The 71 were accompanied by U.S. security officials.
Y'all remember when they was telling Black Americans that they could get deported? Remember? 5 minutes later.
When they're saying they're going to deport me, knowing full well that you cannot deport an American citizen.
Now, if Ilhan Omar, a Somalian refugee, can't get deported, a Black American most definitely can't get deported. We've been
community leaders, business leaders, and youth leaders from the Somali community and from the Muslim community in Minnesota. And we're gathered here today to fully support and endorse President Trump.
We're not black, we're not Arab, we're Somali. Let me start off by why we're not black. This is black, this is brown, and there's not a single person in the world that's this skin color. Do your research. Black is the absence of color. It's what you get when there's no color. It's what you get when you turn off the light. You get black. And yes, I know
we are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black.
Now, for a very long time, the Somali community or Somalis in America have not wanted to identify with the blackness. They have not wanted to identify with the black community or have wanted nothing to do with black Americans. But now that Donald Trump is threatening to deport all of them, or
I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Most of them, if not all of them, that's when they are now calling for black unity. That is when they are remembering black Americans. Now they want black Americans to stand with them during this tough time. Now they want black people to help them fight Donald Trump. They are now all of a sudden calling for black unity.
Somali says black Americans don't know their
Watch
father.
how greasy this dude is talking about us. And I'm going to go to Tariq Nasheed's clip, but I wanted to show y'all how greasy these Somalians was talking about us. Then I'm going to show you how greasy Pan-Africans been talking about us as well. Check out this Somalian and look at what he's telling his people. Feeding them a whole bunch of negativity and stereotypes towards foundational black Americans. Look at this Somalian. Let's get to the content. Make sure that you guys hit that like button soon as you step in, soon as you tap in with us, baby.
All of a sudden calling for black unity.
Somali says black Americans don't know their fathers.
African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. And I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا.
I keep screaming this from every mountaintop I can.
You black Americans don't even know who your father. You don't know your father. You don't know your father. Your mother slap around. You are a product for a one-night stand. Black Americans don't know their father. They're products of promiscuity and a one-night stand. You black Americans don't know your father.
Know their fathers.
African Americans.
Unity.
Somali says black Americans don't know their fathers.
African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. And I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا.
I keep screaming this from every.
All right, let's go to the now you heard it, man. You know, they've been spreading this for a minute. This is what they've been saying.
Good afternoon. I'm Melvin Carter, the mayor of the city of St. Paul. As Mayor Fry just said, we are hearing credible information.
Let's go to Tariq Nasheed's clip real quick, and I'm gonna come back to that. You know, shout out to brother Tariq.
It's getting heavy, and you know, so many beautiful lakes. But the people here have been ripped off. Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars every year. Billions of dollars. They contribute nothing. The welfare they're on is like 88%. This is Trump talking. He said they contribute nothing. He said they go on welfare the day they arrive. Then they complain. He said, I don't want them in our country, to be honest with you. I know that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Then he said, Ilhan Omar, she's garbage. She's always wrapped in her Swedish hijab. She comes from hell, Somalia, and tells us how to run our country. Somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. Man. As an example, hundreds of thousands, this is him talking still, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. They do nothing but bitch. This is him talking. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. We're going to send them back and let them fix Somalia. We don't want garbage in our country. This is Trump talking. Man, Trump went all the way in. Trump went in. Man. Now, it's getting hot. It's getting heavy. Now, these people, they're facing backlash because, number one, the dominant society is going in on them. You know why? Because we ain't protecting them. See, they don't have us to protect them right now. See, we've been protecting a lot of people. See, we have been the protective layer for a lot of people. And let's be real, a lot of these Somalis, they misread the political landscape. A lot of these Somalis, they thought the Democrats was going to protect them and that was going to be guaranteed protection. They assumed the Democrats that, do the whole immigration thing, they stomp hard for the immigration. They thought, well, hell, we got the white Democrats who's going to back us up, but we are the fuel for the Democrats. We are the base for the Democrats. That's foundational Black Americans. So these people thought they could openly disrespect foundational Black Americans with no consequence. Now, the political tides, they're shifting right now. So right now, these non-FBA groups, these
Shout out to Back in Action for being the first one to bless the Cash App. Support this Sunday morning podcast, this broadcast. Shout out to Back in Action for being the first one. Let's get it.
refugees, you are exposed and you are unshielded. Nobody's protecting you. Since we ain't doing it, since y'all told us to stay out your business and y'all was talking greasy, we're like, all right, you handle your candle. Now, all of these white tea people that you thought was going to prop you up, notice they ain't helping you. You see, the same people you counted on, they can't protect you. They ain't doing nothing to help you. And right now, there's a foundational Black American Renaissance delineation movement. So that has shifted the center of gravity over here to us, looking out for what we need to look out for. See, there's a major delineation renaissance right now. I'm telling you, we are in the middle of a renaissance. This foundational Black American Renaissance has made disrespect costly. There's a new cultural and political order where disrespecting foundational Black Americans comes with immediate spiritual, social, and political consequences, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man, political, social. There's consequences politically and social and socially. Politically as well. There's consequences for disrespecting foundational Black Americans. It's about time that we stand on business and hold these people feet to the fire. You're not going to use us. You're not going to ride the wave of being Black. This is why we said, nah, everybody ain't Black. We're foundational Black Americans. Ride your own wave because you're not going to ride ours. Lace your bootstraps and get it out of the mud just like we did. FBA, please stand up.
Energy has changed. People thought the delineation thing was just some little side thing. No. It's a whole vibe right now, and it's real, and people are feeling the ramifications of disrespecting us. And let's be real, and now we keep talking about this. It was the main people who got real comfortable with disrespecting foundational Black Americans like it was sweet. Notice they're the first ones to get hauled up out of here. Haitians were talking crazy. The Somalians were the main ones. All right, we're not going to glance over that. The Somalis, boy, they were having a field day talking crazy about us. All on TikTok, Twitter Spaces, Club.
I just showed you the Somalian dude said, these Black Americans don't know their father. You don't know your father. You guys are products of promiscuity and one-night stands. Foundational Black Americans don't know their father. Them Somalians was talking greasy. Being greasy ain't easy.
House for years. When we started getting on Twitter Space, the main adversaries we were battling against were those damn Somalis. Those Somalis was getting up there talking crazy about us. That was their whole thing. A lot of them, not just a few, it was a whole bunch of them. It was like a general consensus with a lot of them. So they thought insulting and belittling us and antagonizing foundational Black Americans was going to get them some brownie points with the white tea supremacists. They were trying to score points with, see, that was the thing. They were coming over here with liberal Democrat policies, but when they got here, they started trying to align with the alt-right conservative types. You see? And that was one of our biggest contentions with them. They were trying to clout chase by denigrating us, thinking they're going to get more comfortable within the dominant society. It backfired on them. Also, you know, a lot of shit was going on in Minnesota. How many of y'all remember up there in Minnesota, it was some Somalis that tried to jump some FBA girls up there at a school, something like that. It was a big fight up there. Y'all remember that? Where are my Minnesota people? Y'all know what I'm.
Shout out to Abdallah for blessing the Cash App. Abdallah bless the Cash App. Hit the like button. It ain't nothing. Let's get these foundational Black Americans and everybody in line with this content. Support the content. Support some of this good old work that we've been doing over here for a very long time. Consistent with it, baby.
Talking about Minnesota people, are y'all in here? How many of y'all remember like a year or so ago, they were trying to jump some FBA students out of school up there? It was last year, right? Yeah, I didn't forget that. Yeah, a lot of us don't forget all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of us, yeah, this was relatively recent. Yeah, there was a big fight up there. The Somalis was going to try to jump some FBAs.
Huh? What?
So yeah, that ain't the business. And then you have Somalian trolls like that Johnny Somali dude, that goofy Somali troll who goes around doing dumbass stuff, and he would hop in our spaces trying to antagonize us, that Johnny Somali dude. And he goes around the world trying to act like he's us.
Yeah, that Johnny Somali dude. I heard about him. And listen, FBA, we got to stand on business. We're the only people outside of Africa that they want to force this African term on. Nobody tells Brazilians to call themselves Africans, even though they acknowledge their African roots. But nobody tells them they need to label themselves as. Nobody tells Brazilians, Black Brazilians, you need to call yourself Afro. They don't have to do that. Nobody tells Jamaicans they need to call themselves African Jamaicans. Nobody tells Haitians they need to call themselves African Haitians. But they want foundational Black Americans to be African Americans. No, we are foundational Black Americans, and we're going to stand on business 10 toes down. You did.
Does a lot of dumbass stuff. He does a lot of this dumb trolling, running around talking about he's a Black American. And we like, hey, that lame ain't got nothing to do with us. That lame ain't got nothing to do with us. And I'm so proud of us making sure we don't let these lames from all these other groups have their garbage dumped on us. We are very quick now to say, hey, no, that ain't us. Just like the big old buff musty dude who be biting burgers and popping his pussy. Big Groove, who used to call himself Groovin' Gorilla, but we clowned him to the point he had to change his name. Y'all know the big old swole Nigerian dude who's always in restaurants, bussy popping, eating burgers and fish sandwiches and shit? Oh, yeah, we have to always remind people, this ain't us. Oh, he's not us. This ain't us. This is not us. All right?
They want to call us African because they don't want us to understand that we've been here on this land and we have a lot of history on this land. So they've been telling us, oh, you're African American. See, that should have told people something a long time ago. Why do we fall for this nonsense? Whites in America don't call themselves European Americans. They don't. So if they're not European Americans, you should say, oh, hold on, why do they want to call us African Americans? That should have told you something a long time ago. You know, your radar should have went up. Your spotty senses should have been tingling. Hold on, they want to call us African Americans, but they don't call themselves European Americans. That should have told you something a long time ago. They must have an agenda. Why do they want to label us Africans, but they don't call themselves European Americans, but we're African Americans? Man, please, homie. Your common sense radar should have went off a long time ago. You should have said, hold on, something ain't right about this. I smell foul play. We're Africans, but you're not Europeans?
He's still making videos. Yes, he is. He's still making videos. I'm like, yo, yeah, Nigeria's gonna have to hold that L. Y'all not putting that on us. Nigeria's gonna, yeah. His caller, his name is Big Groove. His name is Big Groove, but his original name was Grooving Gorilla. And people were like, hey, bro, people got real fed up. Like, hey, man, you ain't going to be that much of a Sambo. You got to do something about that, bro. You ain't just going to be talking about some damn gorilla. Right? No, bro, change that. So the people made him change that damn name. So, yeah, we're quick to say, hey, that ain't us. That's not us. But the thing is, man, a lot of these people, they tried to use anti-FBA sentiment to try to assimilate into the dominant society. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that, Carly. You're right about that. It was Jesse Jackson, right? And if they're not European Americans, why would we call ourselves African Americans? It don't make sense. When we allowed these people to call us African Americans, we put ourselves in a trick bag, family. Please understand that.
And it backfired. And listen, the backlash is a natural consequence of immigrant arrogance toward a native group. See, Foundation of Black Americans, we are a native ethnic group on this land with centuries of struggle, sacrifice, institution building, the whole nine. Immigrants, y'all just got here. You receive benefits from Foundation of Black American fights and struggles and advocacy, and then you want to turn around and show hostility and disdain and then position yourself against people with deep historic roots. And then when that pressure hits, bam, y'all looking at us like, hey, can you come help? No. Because y'all told us how hard you whack. Oh, don't look at us now. No. Just go whack hard. No, we're not doing anything to you, but we ain't coming through with the capes. See, they came over and they thought, okay, they got it made. You come over here, the FBAs are going to protect you under the guise of blackness, and the YT people are going to elevate you because they don't like the Foundation of Black Americans. So they thought they were in a sweet spot. Oh, listen, they thought they were in a sweet spot.
They did. See, they wanted to play both sides of the fields. We can say that we're black to get some of the benefits that Black Americans fought for. And then we'll use these white liberals to benefit us as well. So they was playing both sides of the field. We're going to use white people to get what we want, and we're going to use black people to get what we want. But we really don't like foundational Black Americans, but we will use them and align and say that we're black to get some of those benefits that foundational Black Americans fought for, these people who paved the way for us. So we'll use the things that foundational Black Americans fought for to benefit us as a group, to benefit us Somalians, but we really don't like foundational Black Americans. We're going to say negative things about them, but at the same time, we're going to align ourselves with these white folks, not realizing that that would only take you so far. So they're playing both sides of the field. We don't like foundational Black Americans, but we will use them to get what we want in this country. And that's exactly what Africans and Somalians been doing. They're only black when it's convenient. Let me say that again. They're only black when it's convenient, when they can get something from it. Hit the like button. I'm gonna go into Dr. Umar. I'm gonna let this clip play for 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna move on over to this video that Dr. Umar made about foundational Black Americans. And we're gonna get on Dr. Umar's helmet in a minute. We're gonna get on Dr. Umar's bumper in a minute.
They thought they were in a sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. Sophia,
if you love the podcast, if you love the show, make sure that you support this show in a major way, because I'm going in heavy in the game. King Supreme in a major way.
Miss Sophia, hop on, dear. Miss Sophia, you asking questions, hop on in the chat room, Miss Sophia. Hop on so I can answer your questions, beloved. Y'all share the space for a minute. But like I said, they thought they were in a sweet spot. Yeah, we don't like these FBA niggas, but they'll protect us, and anything they fight for, we can eat off of it under the guise of black. but we ain't really black.
Everything FBA fought for, we'll leech off of it. We'll tether onto it for the benefits, but really we don't like these foundational Black Americans. You heard one of their leaders said, the dude that was speaking, that's one of their leaders. Foundational Black Americans, they don't know their father. They don't know who their father is. They're products of one-night stands. They're products of promiscuity. We don't want to align ourselves with these people. These are terrible people. They don't know their father. They don't know who their fathers are. And he was spreading his nonsense to his people to get them to feel a certain way about us. And they spread this nonsense to their people before they get over here. So when they come over here, you say, well, damn, you came with all this anti FBA hatred, but you're going to leech off of everything that we fought for? You're going to call yourself black for the benefits while separating yourself at the same time? You listen, homie, you got to take notice of the games that these people played. Everybody uses us for their own benefit. Mexicans and Latinos have used us. They don't really rock with us. Africans have used us so that they can benefit. They don't really rock with us. They use our struggle to benefit themselves, but they don't really rock with you. Deep down inside, these people can't stand you. Wake up, people, and smell what's really going on.
And this is what we say when we get around the white people who don't like them, and we can pander to the white people so we can get elevated. And Miss Sophia, hop on so I can answer your questions, beloved. Y'all share the space for a minute. But like I said, they thought they were in a sweet spot. Yeah, we don't like these FBA niggas, but they'll protect us, and anything they fight for, we can eat off of it under the guise of black, but we ain't really black. And this is what we say when we get around the white people who don't like them, and we can pander to the white people so we can get elevated and protected by the people we don't like. Oh, this is so sweet. Oh, you had a little sweet spot going, and oh, it ain't as sweet as you thought it was. Oh, it ain't as sweet as you thought it was. Yeah. The Democrat politicians use the Somalis as symbolic diversity props.
Yeah.
So that made these people think they were immune to criticism. You see? And then they thought they can come at us. Let me tell y'all something. Coming at us ain't the wave right now. All of that attacking us, that ain't the wave. Not at this point right now. There's a spiritual shift going on right now. You understand? There's spiritual retribution coming from our ancestors. Y'all notice have y'all noticed the people who publicly try to disrespect foundational Black Americans or try to undermine our delineation? They face some kind of consequences. Fat Joe, when he tried to come at us by name, his credibility went to the garbage, to the trash. That album flopped. He got dropped from BET Awards. Everything went left. Come on, you look at the people who say something greasy about us.
Yeah, foundational Black, Fat Joe disrespected foundational Black Americans, and I was on the forefront going in on Fat Joe and these Latinos who were lying about the history of hip hop. I was on the front line with that. And Tariq Nasheed put the nail in the coffin with Microphone Check. Oh, yeah, man. Microphone Check put the nail in the coffin to end this nonsense about Latinos are somehow co-founders in hip hop. They never made no music. In the history of America, Latinos ain't never made music that influenced urban culture. But they thought that people were dumb enough to believe that they're somehow co-founders of hip hop. How dumb you got to be to believe that? These people grew up in a household listening to Spanish music. No urban influence. We never listened to Latino music. So why would we need a group of people who grew up listening to Spanish music? Why would we need those people to create hip hop? That doesn't make sense. As you guys like to say, the math just ain't math, and 2 + 2 ain't 50. It's 4. These Latinos tried to tell everybody that 2 + 2 = 40. And you got a lot of people who believed it. Well, thanks to Tariq Nasheed and people like me who went hard in the paint to shut those lies down.
How shit is going for them. Kamala Harris, when she got up there saying what she ain't gonna do, I ain't gonna do nothing that's only gonna benefit me. We start talking about some reparations. Oh, okay. How'd that go, Kamala? That went to hell. That went all the way to hell. Well, Buster Rhymes. Yeah, how's Buster doing out there? Buster, how's he doing? Well, Buster Rhymes' tour got canceled? Come on. How's that working? Man, some of the Pan-Africans who know better when they disrespect the lineage, when they know better and they're from the lineage, the ancestors are giving some retribution on them. You understand? It ain't looking good. Talking about us.
Shout out to Timothy Bill for the super chat. He said they played their hand, but Trump is coming like the Grim Reaper. Yeah, they played their hand, right? Shout out to you, man, for supporting the content, man, in a major way. Shout out to all of my contributors and supporters, people who really love this content. Yeah, the Somalians, the Africans and the Somalians said we're going to use white people and foundational Black Americans. So they finessed everybody. They got into scams. They started scamming. They committed fraud. They've been playing both sides of the field. We're going to use foundational Black Americans and the white man in this country to get what we want. And they play and they showed their hand. And we've done a great job at exposing these fakers. People who ain't really down with foundational Black Americans, but they want to ride our wave at the same time to get what they want. They want to use us to get what they want while having hatred for us at the same time. And Red Supreme is here to expose all of that nonsense. You foundational Black Americans, you don't know your fathers. Your mothers were promiscuous. You are a product of a one-night stand. Somalians do not want to be like foundational Black Americans.
Integrating us, it's not working. Yeah, somebody said Umar, okay. The ancestors ain't playing. Ask Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was right in mid-sentence denigrating us. And look what happened. Charlie Kirk was in mid-sentence. The last words out of his mouth was him trying to denigrate us. It's the last words out of his mouth. Monaleo's people, you saw what happened. Her stuff is flopping because you came out acting like you're trying to give praises and props to the lineage, but you were trying to undermine it with a Trojan horse Pan-African agenda with Pan-Africans who can't stand us. Her managers up here calling us all types of akatas. How did that work out for her? You can't undermine us. Essence tried to undermine our lineage by coming in and Africanizing Essence and undermine the culture with
Essence tried to Africanize Essence. Essence wanted to Africanize the whole thing. Let's talk about Afro beats. Let's promote this to undermine foundational Black Americans, and we ain't gonna stand for it. We are the culture. We are the trendsetters. We are the most influential people across the world. Everybody copies us. Even the people who, when you think about the people who hate us, they still mimic us. They still copy us. They try their best to replicate what we doing. They'll imitate. They'll try their best to replicate everything that we do. Foundational Black Americans, we are the most influential people across the world. It is time to stand on business. It is time to take pride in who we are. Delineation, separation, segregation, maybe it's time for that. We must separate in order to elevate. I'm going to say it again. We must separate in order to elevate in this society today. No more eating off foundational Black Americans. You will not eat off foundational Black Americans while disrespecting us at the same time. We ain't gonna stand for it. Oh no.
Essence tried to undermine our lineage by coming in and Africanizing essence and undermine the culture with Jollof and all of this, Afro beats, all of that. How did that work out for Essence? Oh, it didn't work out too good for him. Oh, it didn't work out. Man. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah. Not really, her tour not doing that well. So family, I want y'all to understand there's a pattern here. Anti-FBA energy is getting boomeranged back to the sender. The Somalis, they're experiencing that same karmic pushback. Yeah? But understand, man, we ain't stomping for people like that. Because yes, these people burned a lot of bridges, talking greasy. Also, with all of them scams they're doing, that's why we ain't all them scams. We ain't about to sit here and protect y'all from y'all scamming ass ways. They're
The Somalians been scamming the system. Welfare fraud. Man, they didn't scam the system for so much money. It is crazy. Them Somalians, them Somalians been scamming the system. They want to leech off foundational Black Americans while using white folks at the same time. They're going to play both sides of the field to get what they want. Huh? But see, the same thing with the Latinos. Look at all the anti-Black racism that comes from the Latino community. Look at how racist these Africans are when they come over here. Look at the negative stereotypes that they throw on us while using us at the same time. We must separate in order to elevate. Delineation, separate to elevate. I'm getting a little tongue-tied, but you get the message. You understand what I am saying 100%. We must separate in order to elevate as foundational Black Americans. They want to use us. Listen, homie, these people want to use us while disrespecting us at the same time, and we ain't going to stand for it. Absolutely not. Lace your own bootstraps, do your own thing, but you will not leech off of us while disrespecting us at the same time. We ain't going to stand for it. We are calling you out for this buffoonery. We are calling you out for this disrespect. Microphone check. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Indeed.
there in Minnesota, they got child care fraud, food stamp fraud, pandemic relief scams, money laundering.
Man, money laundering, all type of scams from these Somalians, man.
Pandemic relief scams, money laundering. They up there in Minnesota, they got child care fraud, food stamp fraud, pandemic relief scams, money laundering. Man, they got all types of scams up there. We don't want nothing to do with that. We ain't about to stomp for y'all and y'all sitting up here scamming. Your hands ain't clean. Your hands ain't clean. That's why we ain't, that's one of the reasons. That's one, yeah, we good, man. We ain't about to help y'all protect you from your own scams that y'all doing. Yeah, y'all scamming our tax dollars. Hell, some of that tax dollar, that could have came to us. Excuse me, drinking my soda. But these the Somalis, boy, they had a field day denigrating us.
Oh man.
Y'all go back and listen to some of my cases from about 3-4 years ago, going in on them. Hey ladies, how are you?
Oh.
All right, get your ass out of here. Look like they about to show their tits. All right, get out of here. All right. But listen, even during the whole George Floyd uprising up there, they were doing some little funny style stuff. They burned down, there was some Somalis who burned down a black high school up there, allegedly, from what I understand, if I'm not mistaken. It was a black high school up there during the George Floyd situation that got burned down. They found out it was a damn Somali who did it. Y'all remember that? Yeah, little weird stuff like that, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Majora Magic package is it's the business, man. I was at my office today. Shout out to some of the brothers up there. We had a lot of good brothers up there working today.
All right, now let's get into what Dr. Umar said about foundational Black Americans, man. I appreciate everybody for shout out to brother Tariq Nasheed for standing up for our people, man, and just representing and doing the thing. Let's see what Dr. Umar said about FBA.
Understand them. We're going to make sure you understand how they.
Now, listen, if you guys want to hit the link, let's get 5 more people to support this show, and I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link, and I'm gonna pull some people up to speak. But what I want you guys to do right now is make sure that you guys support the show in a major way. The Cash App is on the screen. If you want to support through Super Chat or Cash App, you can do that. Venmo, PayPal as well. I will link the Zelle account so people can support through Zelle as well. Look at Dr. Umar on this dusty chair. The leather is peeling. The pleather, I ain't gonna even call it leather. The pleather is peeling on the back of that seat. Get a brand new seat, fool. That seat is raggedy and dusty. Look at all this sweat right here. This fool got a bunch of sweat up under that beard. The pleather is peeling off of that damn chair. Look at all the musty sweat sitting up there looking crusty and musty. Got sweat all on his t-shirt. Look at that damn fool disrespecting foundational Black Americans. Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar to be ashamed of himself. Looking crusty, musty, and sweaty with that pleather peeling off the back of that seat, fool. This dude is looking crazy. Look at all this sweat he got, man. You should have took a shower and got a better seat before you uploaded this damn video. Just sit up there looking crusty and musty, disrespecting foundational Black Americans. The nerve of this fool.
Yes, we're going to talk about traditional spiritual systems. Yes, we are. And we're going to not only talk about them from a perspective so you can understand them, we're going to make sure you understand how they have helped bring a lot of coons to African consciousness. African spirituality has helped to bring a lot of coons into their African consciousness. And we have to talk about them.
I see your elevated mind healer. He said got food in his beard from last month. I see your elevated mind healer sitting up there looking crusty and musty. Can't forget about Dusty. Got pleather peeling off of the back of that chair. Got sweat all on his t-shirt. Looking crusty and musty. Got a nerve to be disrespected. Foundational Black Americans, stand up.
And we're going to talk about the role of the Rastafari movement in preserving the legacy of the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the dream of the United States of Africa, and the Rastafari as being the only prominent religious nationalist group that claims proudly their African heritage and pushes repatriation. Shout out to my Rastafari brothers and sisters. Shout out to my Naya Bingi brothers and sisters. Shout out to my 12 tribes brothers and sisters. And shout out to my Ethiopian World Federation brothers and sisters. And I am the newest member of the Ethiopian World Federation division in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Island. I am a proud member of EWF St. Croix, local number 7. So we're going to talk about the role of Rastafari in preserving Africa for the Africans, brothers and sisters. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. And then we're going to talk about
like Dr. Umar, man, you could have took a shower, nigga. Hey, man, Dr. Umar sitting up there sweating off pork chop grease. This fool, Dr. Umar sitting up there sweating off pork chop grease with extra gravy. That pleather peeling off of the back of that seat. Dr. Umar sitting up there sweating off pork chop grease, talking greasy about foundational Black Americans. Can you dig it?
Negro tribalism versus Pan-Africanism. We got to deal with it. It's no threat to our work because true Pan-Africanists understand, and overstand the reactionary nature of ADOS, FBA, and the so-called Black Indians, okay? True Pan-Africanists understand the reactionary, degenerate purpose that the FBA, the ADOS, and the Black Indian movement serves. So, you know, it's no threat to what we're doing. We're the oldest political movement in black man's history. You understand? But we need to deal with it so students in the class can understand how this is nothing more than love of America disguised as black self-interest. This is nothing more than love of America disguised as black self-interest. So we're going to go into that. And then we're going to talk about my role. Not from an ego perspective, but from a historical perspective. We're going to talk about Dr. Umar Ifatunde and the rebirth of revolutionary Pan-African nationalism in the 21st century. And then we're going to talk about the psychology of Pan-Africanism versus post-traumatic slavery disease. The psychology of Pan-Africanism versus post-traumatic slavery disease. If you want to take the class, send me a 1 to 2.
And it's crazy that Dr. Umar is talking greasy and he ain't built no school. And you know what his excuse is? Well, you got to understand, man, white supremacy is holding me back. It's the white man. The white man is to blame why I can't start a school. And you brothers, you ain't gave me enough money. Shame on you Pan-Africanists. You ain't gave me enough money. How dare you talk about Dr. when you ain't gave enough money? Dr. Umar said, well, you guys are saying shame on me. No, shame on you, because you ain't donated enough money for me to get this school open. The white man is shutting me down. The black folks ain't gave me enough money. Shame on you while you're trying to say shame on me. Dr. Umar said, y'all ain't gave enough money. How dare you criticize him? You ain't gonna criticize me knowing damn well you ain't sent enough money. You pretendians and you foundational black Americans, you are not welcome in my school. Dr. Umar said pretendians and foundational black Americans are not welcome at the FDMG Academy.
2-page autobiographical letter of interest to Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. The deadline for registration, I haven't set a deadline yet. It'll definitely be before New Year's. And we only taking 50. For my international Africans, you will be required to only attend one of the 6 in-person meetings. If you do not live in the United States of America and you want to take the class, you are only required to attend just one of the 6 in-person meetings. So if my Caribbean Africans, my London Africans, my Australian Africans, my Canadian Africans, my Central and South American Africans, you only have to come to one in-person class, and we will join you in the other 5 in-person classes by way of live stream. We will do that for you. So you will not miss. You will not miss for my international Africans, but you must attend at least one. So that is the course of Pan-Africanism. Any questions, you can text me at 215-989-9858. Any questions about any of this, the college tour, the Team Pan-African new members.
Shout out to Ryder Prophet. Ryder Prophet blessed us with a cash app. Shout out to Money Bankroll for blessing us with a cash app. Shout out to the people for supporting this show. We still need a few more people. Let's get 4 more people, then I'm gonna drop the link. We need 4 more people, then I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna pull some people up to speak, and we're gonna chop up beautiful game on the Sunday morning, man, for sure. Look at Dr. Umar sitting up there sweating all pork chop grease, talking greasy about foundational black Americans.
Meeting the class, Kwanzaa or Black History Month at FDMG. Also, for those of you who love to act, one thing we want to do in the spirit of the
all right,
is,
enough of this.
Who wants to be Ida B. Wells on the stage? Who wants to be Sojourner Truth on the stage? Who wants to be the great Medgar Evers on the stage? Who wants to be Patrice Lumumba on the stage? Who wants to be Robert Sobukwe, Winnie Mandela, Dedan Kamafi, Amilcar Cabral, Thomas Sankara, Julius Nyerere, Steve Biko on the Bigs, Maurice Bishop, Toussaint Overture. If there's any brothers and sisters out there who have a love for acting, We are bringing back the Garvey Club, the Marcus Garvey theater clubs that the Garvey movement was known for. And it won't be the same people acting all the time. I'm going to give all of you an opportunity to participate in the production or the performance. In the production or the performance. In the production or the performance, I'm going to give all of you an opportunity. I'm going to give all of you an opportunity.
He lying. He ain't produced a damn thing. Everything that Tariq Nasheed said he was going to do, he produced. He came through. When Tariq Nasheed had said, hey, man, I need you guys to support this movement, he came through with it. Dr. Umar is a fraud. He's never delivered nothing. Can you guys name anything that Dr. Umar has delivered on? He ain't brought no people up to act. He ain't got no actors. He don't have no documentaries. He's not going to open the school. The school is a flop, an absolute failure. Dr. Umar has not kept his word on anything, but he got the nerve to be talking about greasy about foundational Black Americans while sitting up there talking crazy, sweating off pork chop grease at the same time.
Opportunity to act. We're bringing back the drama clubs. We need drama writers. You got to write the scripts out. I got some real good Black playbooks, though.
Man, he lying. He ain't got no actors. Dr. Umar ain't delivered on nothing that he's talking about. He's a great talker. Listen, I give it to Dr. Umar. He's a great talker. But when it's time to deliver, he's absent. You never see this fool. He ain't delivered on nothing that he's been talking about. He ain't got no Black actors. He ain't got the FDMG Academy. He ain't got nothing. And he's going to blame the white man for his failures. He's going to blame Black people for not supporting him. He's going to blame Black people for not giving him enough money.
I got some real, we're bringing back the drama clubs. We need drama writers. You got to write the scripts out. I got some real good Black playbooks, though. I got some real good.
Man, I don't believe that, man. If Dr. Umar really did that, where's the school? I mean, seriously, where is the FDMG Academy? Show me the school. He been talking about this school for the last 10 years and he ain't delivered nothing. He said Black people ain't sent him enough money. And listen, he said Black folks ain't sent him enough money and the white man is holding them down. Systematic white supremacy is suppressing his movement. And on top of that, Black folks ain't sent him enough money.
Black plays that was written that I bought from Hakeem's bookstore. Shout out to Hakeem. Because I did the Nat Turner play. I was still Minister of Education for the UNIA. We did the Nat Turner play at Muhammad's Islamic Academy. Shout out to the Nation of Islam at 26 and Cecil B. North Philadelphia. Stand up 215. Okay, so for those of y'all who want to be in a drama club, I'm telling you, we doing what nobody else in the conscious community is doing. Not to mention, I'm the only one building an institution.
You're not.
Not to mention, I'm the only one building. To mention, I'm the only one building an. Not to mention, I'm the only one building an institution. Not to mention, I'm the only one building an institution. Also, in the drama club is for children and adults. The drama club is for children.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Dr. Umar need to put them pork chops down, bro. Dr. Umar, you need to put them pork chops down, man. You sitting up there sweating, looking a fool. Looking a complete fool. Look at all that pork chop grease coming up out of his chest. Look at all that pork chop grease coming up out of his flesh. And he got the nerve to talk greasy about foundational Black Americans, talking about Pan-Africanism.
Children and adults. The drama club is for children and adults. And then we're going to start doing some paintball weekend retreats. Men and women. Paintball. We're going to leave from FDMG on Friday. Friday night, we're going to have a social at the hotel. Go eat. All day Saturday, we're going to be paintballing each other. We're going to break it up into the groups. Team Turner, Team Garvey, Team Douglas, Team Dessalines. Team Turner, Team Garvey, Team Douglas, Team Dessalines. Co-ed, men and women. As long as you physically fit enough. and we gonna paintball each other, and we gonna have our own paint.
What do you mean? As long as you're physically fit enough. This dude sit around eating pork chops, dipped in triple grease with extra gravy on it. And he got the nerve to talk about being physically fit. This fool sitting up there smoking. This dude sitting up there sweating out pork chop grease, talking about being physically fit. The nerve of this fool.
Ball league, and then we're gonna come back on Sunday, leave Friday, do something Friday night, all day Saturday paintball, come back on Sunday. You cannot be a coon, you cannot be a YouTubian hater, you cannot be a 1%er, you cannot be an Africoon, you cannot be a YouTubian hater, you cannot be a 1%er. Next announcement, I'm working on the For Sisters Only book, ladies. I'm working on the For Sisters Only book, ladies. I'm also working on second.
Listen, man, I need you guys to get the likes up. Listen, if you really rocking with the content, I need y'all to get the likes up in a major way. It's King Supreme in a major way, dropping game on a daily basis, man. You know what it is. You did. Huh? Make sure that you get the likes up and support the platform for some of this dope content. Game delivered by King Supreme on a consistent basis. You already know. Support the show. Dr. Umar sitting up there sweating off pork chop grease while talking greasy about foundational Black Americans. You heard me? Getting down and dirty while it's early.
Edition of Psychoacademic Holocaust. When those books are out, there will be a tour. Second annual FDMG Family Festival, September 10th. Awards, big, beautiful, crystal, unapologetically African trophies. That's gonna be the bomb. I'm telling you right now. That's gonna be the bomb. The unapologetically African Awards gonna be off the hook. And then I'm also releasing a series of children's books. I've been ignoring the young children. Gotta get back to that. I'm going to be releasing.
Shout out to the humble hummingbird. For the humble hummingbird has blessed us with a cash app. I appreciate you, sister. I appreciate all of you brothers and sisters for supporting this content. It's beautiful, man. Game delivered by King Supreme. Pan-Africanism is dead. It is over with. If you go to a Pan-African movement, you're going to see people 50 and up. The only people who support this Pan-African movement, the Pan-Africanist movement, the Pan-Africanist movement are people 50 and up. Foundational Black Americans got people from their teens to their 50s and 60s who support what we got going on. Pan-Africanism is dead. If you go to a Pan-Africanist movement, you're going to see people 50 and up. They can't reach the youth because they are not the truth. But foundational Black Americans can reach the youth because we are the truth. 100%. FBA got people of all ages just rocking with the things that we got going on. If the Pan-Africanists had a movement today, you only gonna see people that's 50 and up. The youth don't believe in it because it's complete garbage. It's complete garbage. That's why the youth don't believe in it. You got to capture people of all ages to be successful when it comes to the things that you are preaching, when it comes to the things that you are teaching.
Releasing a series of children's books. I've been ignoring the young children. I got to get back to that. I got to get back to that. And then I'm working on a Jamaica group tour, the African group tour. I'm working on a Jamaica group tour, the African group tour, and then there will be an FDMG book club. There will be an FDMG book club. There will be an FDMG book club. So brothers and sisters, hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Norfolk, Virginia, I am coming to you the day after Nat Turner. I will be in Nat Turner land.
The only people who support this Pan-Africanist BS are people who are 50 and up. Pan-Africanism is dead. You have no influence. The youth don't follow you. The youth don't support you. That is a dead movement. Listen, if you guys want to hit the if you guys want to how could I say this? If I bring some people up to speak, man, I need you guys to keep the language in check because we are excuse me. We are monetized on this channel, right? So if you want to hit the link, you want to pull up to speak, you want to add to the conversation, you want to talk about how the immigrants have disrespected us, the Pan-Africans has disrespected us, and how FBA must stand on business, unity in the community, providing opportunities for the people. Hey, man, we're going to continue to move forward with this game delivered by King Supreme in a major way. So if you want to hit this link and you want to pull up to speak, keep the language clean. We're going to keep it PG-13 because guess what? We are monetized on King Supreme. I'll say it again. We are monetized on King Supreme. So we got to keep the language clean. So pull up now if you got something to say and you want to add to this conversation.
Louisville, Virginia on Thursday, November the 11th. And then
all right, enough of this food. Enough of this dude.
all 5 of the major North American tribes were slave owners themselves. So when an American African tells you, I'm a Cherokee, I'm a Choctaw, I'm a Seminole, I'm a Creek, what exactly are they saying? Are you saying that you were a slave of the Seminole, a slave of the Choctaw, a slave of the Chickasaw? And if you were a slave of a Native American tribe, how is that any better than being a slave to a white man? I would agree. Capitalism has no solutions in it for black people. But what we have amongst us is we have capitalist-minded neo-Negroes who try to seduce black people into thinking that imitating the white man's economic system offers some hope for black economic liberation. And that is totally dishonest. It is opportunistic. It has no evidence to support it. I disagree with that logic. It is historically incorrect. It is anthropologically incorrect. It is biologically incorrect. It is genetically incorrect. It is ancestrally incorrect. African people are the first people on the planet Earth. And every other human family, except possibly the European, descends directly from us. If we do not leave Africa, no other race evolves from us. We would still be the only people on this planet if we never left Africa. For those who say we were in America before slavery, they are correct. We were in America before slavery because we were everywhere before slavery. We're the oldest people. We were on the planet by ourselves for tens of thousands of years before any other race evolved from us. So we're the first people in America. We're the first people in the Caribbean. We're the first people in Europe. We're the first people in Asia. So yes, we were here. When you read the diaries of Christopher Columbus, he talks of seeing African people, black skin, woolly hair, just like the ones he saw in Africa. Let us remember that Christopher Columbus did not discover. Christopher Columbus spent time in West Africa, and if memory serves me correctly, he spent approximately 2 weeks in the Elmina slave dungeon, during which time he was given a map that showed him how to get over to the so-called New World. He was educated about the 3 major currents that flow from the West African coast over to North America, South America, and then the Caribbean. And so all he had to do was catch the sea current to the direction that he wanted to go. Oh, yes, he had several Africans who were on board with him. And of course, absolutely. And some people would call them Moors, but Moor means black, you know, so we also have to pay attention to all these different names that they give to African people to try to make us think they were not African people. But yes, he had African people who were there with him, and he took the 3rd current, the bottom current that brought him to the Caribbean islands. So it was not a mistake. It was not an accident. It was not a discovery. He was simply following the instructions that were given to him by Africans who had already circumnavigated the planet. We were the first people on the ocean. You know, yes, it's true. The Portuguese had a golden age.
Shout out to the UBO for blessing us with a cash app. Shout out to you, bro, in a major way.
Of maritime science, and the Chinese had a golden age of maritime science, but people forget that the Africans were the first with the golden age of maritime science, because if we were not the first in shipping, how did we get all around the world? Because we definitely did not swim. So getting back to your question, we were here before Columbus. So yes, you have pre-Columbian Africans in America. You have post-Columbian Africans in America. The issue that we have with brothers and sisters who are miseducating our children and our people, telling them that they didn't come from Africa, is the fact that everybody came from Africa. And it is ridiculous for the people who looked up.
Do you guys agree that everybody comes from Africa? The blacks in America, do you agree that they came from Africa? Now, the Choctaws and all the native blacks that was in America, do you agree that they came from Africa? I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. We are foundational Black Americans. That's what it is, and that's what we're going to rock with, 100%.
Most like Africans to be the only ones in the world who would dare say we don't come from Africa. We all come from Africa, but we can't get distracted by this type of propaganda and incorrect rhetoric, because
Illuminated Dunn, shout out to you, sweetie. She said Dr. Umar is all over the place. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the ladies for showing up.
We've always had
shout out to the ladies for supporting his content. Shout out to you brothers as well.
To deal with this as American Africans and throughout the diaspora. You know, when you look at the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and after his deportation from America in 1927, many of the organizations who came after Garvey also propagated to our people that they were not African. All due respect to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he taught our people that they were not African, that they were Asiatics. All due respect to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he taught our people that they were not African, that they were Asiatics. So we have a history of Black leaders coming before our people and basically distracting them from their Africanity. Again, all these Black men did great things, but they also continued to put forth the untruth that we were not an African people. So we have to deal with that. And this is rooted in self-hate. This is rooted in psychological homelessness. This is rooted in African racial low self-esteem. And I also think it might even be rooted in a CIA scheme to brainwash Black people into thinking that they were already here so they can do away with concepts such as reparations. They can do away with concepts such as repatriation. They could do away with concepts such as global unification of all African people, because there are some very clear and very powerful ramifications for this type of dangerous and senseless rhetoric. But now that we have DNA testing, we don't have to debate who is and who isn't from Africa. Roll up your sleeve, give some blood, send it to the land, send it to the lab, and when it comes back, let's see if it says you're anything other than an African. But the other point I want to make, that I think some of these pretendians, because this is what I call them, good sister, pretendians, because they're pretending to be Indians. Here's the thing. The 5 major Native American tribes fought with the Confederacy to maintain slavery. All 5 of the...
Now, a lot of people are in denial about that. Do you guys agree with that? The 5 civilized tribes fought to maintain slavery. They assisted the white man. Do you guys agree with that? The Creeks, the Choctaws, the Cherokees, and all of the, the 5 civilized tribes. Do you guys agree with that? Dr. Umar is saying, well, when you identify with these 5 tribes, you're identifying with a group of people who fought to maintain slavery. Do you agree with Dr. Umar on that, or do you disagree with Dr. Umar on that? Huh? The 5 civilized tribes fought to maintain slavery. They assisted the white man. How do you guys feel about that? Give me your thoughts in the comments.
The major North American tribes, all 5 of the major North American tribes were slave owners themselves. So when an American African tells you, I'm a Cherokee, I'm a Choctaw, I'm a Seminole, I'm a Creek, what exactly are they saying? Are you saying that you were a slave of the Seminole, a slave of the Choctaw, a slave of the Chickasaw? And if you were a slave of a Native American tribe, how is that any better than being a slave to a white man? And still further, Even if you're raped by a Chickasaw slave master, why would you be proud of that? But let's go a step further, and I'll stop with this point here. We have 4 grandparents. We have 8 great grandparents. We have 16 great great grandparents. And we have 32 great 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 grandparents. If one of your great 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 grandparents, one of 32, was a Native American, how does that disqualify all of your African blood and now you become 100% Native American? How is that possible? And why are you dismissing all of your African DNA to lay claim to 1/32nd of your so-called Native American DNA? It's all self-hatred. Good question. It is true that within the political and philosophical history of revolutionary Pan-Africanism, we have had a split. We have had a nationalist versus socialist split, and we still have a nationalist versus socialist split within the world and ranks of Pan-Africanism. There are those who have a leaning or an orientation to Marxism, as you mentioned, and socialism. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, he was of that energy. Kwame Nkrumah, after he met W.E.B. Du Bois and George Padmore.
All right, so that's Dr. Umar giving his spiel on everything. So if you guys want to hit the link and you want to add to the conversation, you are welcome to do so. So I'm going to drop the link one more time. If you guys have something to say and you want to add to the conversation, you're welcome to do so. Right? Do you believe in what Dr. Umar said? Now, we're going to go back to some of these Somalian raids, right? And enough of that. Enough of that. Let's get back to some of these, what's going on with ICE and these Somalians.
12 people during this week's operation around the cities, and nearly half of those detained are originally from Somalia. And for the first time, we're hearing from the wife of one of the men arrested, and she is pushing back on ISIS claims that he is an active gang member. Our Danny Spiewak is following this story and has more. Danny?
Jennifer, Homeland Security's list of arrests includes one Somali refugee who has been challenging deportation efforts since President Trump's first term. His criminal history is no secret, but his wife told me in a phone conversation today that she's going to keep fighting to keep him here.
Rhoda Christensen says she learned from a neighbor on Monday that her husband Abdul Qadir Sharif Abdi.
He found him a snow. That Somalian found him a European snow bunny. Yeah.
Jennifer, Homeland Security's list of arrests includes one Somali refugee who has been challenging deportation efforts since President Trump's first term. His criminal history is no secret, but his wife told me in a phone conversation today that she's going to keep fighting to keep him here.
Rhoda Christensen says she learned from a neighbor on Monday that her husband Abdul Qadir Sharif Abdi had been detained.
I'm driving on the road and she goes, "Hey, Rhoda, ICE is in your apartment." And I was silent for a minute.
After going to Fort Snelling first for processing, Christensen says her husband is now in a detention facility in Nebraska.
He's devastated. He's just a simple guy that loves his home.
Abdi's story has been documented extensively by local media over in Nebraska.
He's devastated. He's just a simple guy that loves his home.
Abdi's story has been documented extensively by local media over the years. A Somali refugee who fled civil war in the 90s, he committed several felonies while part of a Minneapolis gang, but was said to have...
He a Somalian Crip. Look, man, he got the blue rag on it. What did I tell you about the Somalian Crips in Minnesota? See, y'all thought I was joking when I told y'all about these Somalian Crips, man. Look at him, man. He got the blue rag on his neck. He got the south side. He got the lokes on. He got the dog. Yeah, man. Committed several felonies as a Somalian Crip. I'm going to let it play and I'm going to be quiet. If you guys want to hit the link, the time is now to hit the link. Man, this dude is a Somalian Crip.
12 people during this week's operation around the cities, and nearly half of those detained are originally from Somalia. And for the first time, we're hearing from the wife of one of the men arrested, and she is pushing back on ISIS claims that he is an active gang member. Our Danny Spiewak is following this story and has more. Danny?
Jennifer, Homeland Security's list of arrests includes one Somali refugee who has been challenging deportation efforts since President Trump's first term. His criminal history is no secret, but his wife told me in a phone conversation today that she's going to keep fighting to keep him here. Christensen says she learned from a neighbor on Monday that her husband, Abdul Qadir Sharif Abdi, had been detained.
I'm driving on the road and she goes, "Hey, Rhoda, ISIS in your apartment." And I was silent for a minute.
After going to Fort Snelling first for processing, Christensen says her husband is now in a detention facility in Nebraska.
He's devastated. He's just a simple guy that loves his home.
Abdi's story has been documented extensively by local media over the years. A Somali refugee who fled civil war in the 90s, he committed several felonies while part of a Minneapolis gang, but was said to have turned his life around after getting sober and becoming a mentor in the recovery community. In 2018, his lawyers successfully lobbied against his deportation, but this week ICE described him as a, quote, known current member of Vice Lord Nation with convictions of fraud, receiving stolen property.
Oh, he from the Vice Lord Nation. So these Somalians be joining gangs as well. But so he's a Vice Lord. He ain't a Somalian Crip. But please believe there's a lot of Somalian Crips in Minnesota. For sure.
Receiving a stolen vehicle, vehicle theft, and multiple probation violations.
He's not a current gang member. We've been married for 11 years. Has he ever been in trouble? No. Has he always checked in with ICE? Yes.
Homeland Security says that Abdi is one of 12 people arrested during ICE's Operation Metro Surge, describing all as being here illegally with criminal histories ranging from child sex abuse to domestic assault.
We're going to enforce the laws of this country without apology, including in the Twin Cities.
Homeland Security won't say whether that operation is still ongoing.
Well, more people are looking out the windows. They're checking to see, unmarked cars.
Jailani Hussein with the Council on American Islamic Relations says the 5 Somalis on ISIS list represent a tiny fraction of the 80,000 Somalis living in Minnesota.
They're spinning their wheels because they've actually come to a community that is overwhelmingly U.S. citizens.
We asked Homeland Security today if ICE detained anybody else besides the 12 people listed in their press release, but they have not told us how many total arrests ICE had made this week.
So where you guys at? So I guess
tonight, rising tensions in New Orleans as the immigration crackdown by federal agents escalates. Residents in the city shouted and honked horns as Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino walked through a neighborhood knocking on doors. ICE actions are also making headlines in other cities. CBS's Allie Bauman is in New York with more on that part of the story. Allie.
Good evening, Tariq. Welcome back. In the midst of ICE concentrating on Minnesota this week, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey signed an executive order prohibiting federal, state, and local agencies from using any city-owned parking lots, ramps, garages, vacant lots in order to stage civil immigration enforcement operations. The order also directs city staff to design a signage template for local businesses and property.
Shout out to UBO, man. I appreciate it. I ain't seen you in a minute, man, but shout out to the UBO, Rider Profit, for blessing the Cash App. UBO, I appreciate you, man.
Property owners who want to show their support for immigrants and mark their property as off limits for these activities. Here to expand on a lot of this and the events this week, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. We know you've been very busy this week, so appreciate your time. Before we get into the details of the executive order, as we were talking.
This is Minneapolis, talking about ICE in Minneapolis. And, this is where all your Somalians are, right? So let's see what he had to say.
About the beginning of the show, Augsburg University. We had a viewer send us some video of what they suspected was some ICE activity at Augsburg University. What can you tell us?
So I know last night we received at least 2 911 calls. I just don't remember the specifics. I believe it was related to people with guns that may have been on campus. Police officers from the 1st Precinct responded, and they were able to confirm with the university public safety officials there that there had been some federal law enforcement there, and they had left prior to the arrival of the police.
we are getting a lot of these calls, you know, whether they are confirmed or turned out to be accurate or inaccurate, but we're getting a lot into our newsroom. I can imagine from a police perspective the calls that you are getting as people are on edge right now.
They're really scared. I mean, both American citizens are afraid, as well as people who have simply lived here and been contributing to the community for many years. So we get both these 911 calls, you know, related to, you know, there's people with guns and that kind of thing, but we also get, you know, concerns directly from community members, whether it's video that people have taken or other things. We had one woman who had reached out that had received a phone call, like a scam, from someone claiming to be federal law enforcement over the phone, and trying to get them to send them money, you know, which obviously is a scam, and that's not what law enforcement does. So, I mean, I think it just goes to show that there's definitely bad actors out there that are looking to try and take advantage of the situation and prey upon immigrants in the community.
Yeah, even more to be aware of. Going back to the executive order, describe how this will actually be enforced. I mean, if the mayor basically signed this saying, nope, you can't use this parking lot.
Right.
How do you enforce that?
Well, I mean, I think what the mayor is trying to do is lead on this issue and really just try and prevent us from being in this situation in the first place. The order directs parts of the city government to try and secure whatever lots and places there may be to try and prevent that activity in the first place. There are areas and property of the city that is just not open to the public, and so if you know, efforts are being taken proactively to try and prevent that from happening. Now, if it does, the executive order spells out that department.
Okay, we heard this, man. Let's go back to Tariq Nasheed and let's see what he had to say about, you know, these Somalians and East Africans. Check this out.
That's literally what my ancestors taught me.
Right.
That's literally in our teachings in the household. Look down on wide nose.
In your drawers, what happened?
Happy hair.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would that be racism or was that be roasting?
Well, you know, if I roast you about your low birth rates, would that be racist or roasting?
I'm Ethiopian. I'm Habesha.
No, you're not.
So our population is tripling.
I don't believe you're Ethiopian, sir.
Ethiopia. I just
You did what?
I literally just Amharic.
You said you're funky in your drawers. What happened?
Why do you believe I'm not Ethiopian?
I don't hear any flies buzzing. So yeah, you're from somewhere else. Where you from for real?
Most Habeshas, we look down on wide noses and.
You probably are. You're Somali. Okay, say hello in your Ethiopian language, huh? Yeah, sir. I think your forehead is blocking the reception. Can you move your head to the right, please?
How can you confirm that? You don't even speak the language.
No, but I couldn't. Your forehead was blocking the 5G, so it was kind of.
I told you this last night. We're literally Caucasians. We're part of the Caucasian family.
But
so you got an Ethiopian claiming to be a part of the Caucasian family. My God, man, let's hear. So he said we're part of the Caucasian family. Listen, man.
Couldn't get no Caucasian phone. You had to get a third world cheap iPhone 1 because I can barely hear you. So
you know who Menelik is?
Hold on, I'm trying to work with you, but your phone is just so janky. So you just might be. You're from East Africa somewhere. I'm just trying to understand where. All right. Can you speak up? Can you take out the T-Move headphones?
I'm sure you're familiar with Menelik, right?
Right, I am. I understand Menelik.
Yeah, he told some Pan-Africanists, "I'm not a Negro. I'm a Caucasian," to his face.
Right.
So that's literally what my ancestors taught me.
Right.
That's literally in our teachings and in the household. Like I grew up with my family being very anti-black.
Right.
You know, we don't see ourselves as black.
And
I know
that means what? And
a lot of
and that means what? And what do we lose from that? What do we lose? What benefits do we lose?
Just
we don't
North
lose
Africa and
nothing. So yeah, some hungry refugees sitting around circle jerking. That doesn't bother us, sir.
It just basically confirms Africa has no civilization. That's why most of Africa is a shithole. Besides North Africa and East Africa.
Yeah, but you're over here. You're not over there, sir. So what does that say? Huh?
The white man fought for me to come over here.
No,
I
no,
give
no,
thanks to him every
no,
day.
no. They fought to leave you out of your homeland. They got you out of your homeland.
They classified us as Caucasians. They're the ones who
But
told us you're
you got
basically
pushed out
part of
of
the
your
Caucasian.
homeland.
Man, if you believe that Ethiopia, man, this dude got to be trolling. You got to be trolling. Europeans will never accept you as being a Caucasian. Either he's trolling or he's just, oh my God, this is crazy.
Sir. Wherever, because
They respected us. They didn't respect N-words. They didn't respect Negroes like you.
But they don't. We're not looking for respect, sir. You're over here with us. You had to come over here with us, driving our cab, sir. And I need a ride to the airport, right?
Yeah, you're
And you're
very
probably you sound
but
Middle Eastern.
listen. I know you guys have brainwashed some of my people with the blackness, Pan-African shit, but a lot of us are waking up. We want nothing to do with black people. We don't share your history.
Yeah, boo-hoo. Yeah, nobody's asking you, sir. You can't deny something that was never offered. We're not really trying to get with
You
you.
came to the doorsteps of
We're not really trying to get down with you, sir.
an African. He told you I'm not a Negro.
And yes, sir, you're sounding like you're most likely Arab.
Yeah, man, this dude is trolling, man. Like, come on, man. Listen, let's go to the next one. This is crazy. East Africans are somehow Caucasians?
Sir,
African. He told you I'm not a Negro.
And yes, sir, you're sounding like you're most likely Arab.
Arab?
Yeah, you sound Arab. Is that what it is?
My reposts literally say that I'm not Arab.
Yeah, you sound like an Arab. But whatever you are, you ain't over there. We know that. Wherever you are, you're not over there. You over here with us. So what is?
Yeah, man. This is what we're gonna do. Let's go to the next clip. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure that you guys get the likes up. It's very important that you do so.
Okay, there's a lot of finessing going on with people in your family. A new scent called Majora Magic. It's a phenomenal scent, ladies and gentlemen. Get 15th of this month. So you only have a few days. Well, you have like a week. You got a week, but the sale will end. Tomfoolery going on up there. There's a lot of scams, a lot of finessing going on up there. They're sending the ICE trucks up there to start deporting people. It's getting heavy up there. And I saw Ilan Omar. Somebody was interviewing her. She was leaving somewhere. She was being interviewed. And boy, when things get hot for these people, all of these people who go out of their way to really distance themselves from blackness, boy, when they get on the hot seat, they become blackety black. Ilhan Omar, she was talking about, oh yeah, Trump, they're targeting black immigrants. Oh yeah, she just kept saying she just kept saying it. Oh yeah, black immigrants are being targeted. Oh, that's what they do. All the racism, all the black immigrants, all black, us black. People get blackety damn black when the block gets hot, don't it? Just like that Haitian lady down there in Florida.
Yeah, like you can't call yourselves black saying, this is what they doing to black folks. Found it. Excuse me.
Now, when she was running for office, oh, she was Haitian, Haitian, Haitian. When she won, Haitian, Haitian, Haitian. Oh, I'm the first Haitian to do this. Haitian. Oh, Haiti is so proud. Okay. Now, when she gets indicted for finessing money, well, oh, look how they doing the black people. Oh, look at how they doing us blacks.
They just said they wasn't black when they thought it was beneficial to be Somalian. Now that Somalians are getting deported, now they want to be black and saying, how come FBAs are not standing with us? How come FBAs are not standing with their African brothers? You're siding with the white people, but you just said you wasn't black. Now that the block is hot, you're black, and now you're trying to shame FBA for not supporting their African brothers. You're not. Shame on foundational Black Americans for not supporting their African brothers.
They doing the black community dirty. Oh man. No. No, we got to keep that same energy. We got to keep that same energy. No, don't drag us into it now. And people, there's some Somalis who are still very antagonistic towards us. There was a tweet by I don't know who, there's some white politician. There's a video of him talking about talking against the Somalis being targeted. He was talking against it. There's a white guy. I don't know who he is. I think he's a politician, but a Somali person retweeted it and they left the following comment. They still
Shout out to FBA Freedman Wolfpack. He said Somalians in Minnesota need to start packing. All tethers, go fix your homeland. Salute to all my FBA Freedman community. Shout out to you, my brother. Let's continue. All of a sudden, we all black. Shame on the foundational Black Americans for not supporting their African brothers while supporting the white people. Yeah, right.
It had to take a dig at us. All right. So the tweet was, and this from a Somali, more white people are standing with Somalis in Minnesota than blacks. It's very eye-opening. So, good Lord. Do people really think we're supposed to put the capes on? Notice how people get antagonistic towards us because they assume that we're supposed to jump up with the capes on. No. Listen. Listen. The capes are off right now. We're cool. We're letting everybody fight their own battle. And people are not about to try to shame us.
The capes are off. Everybody must lace their own bootstraps and fight their own battles. Foundational Black Americans will stand up for foundational Black Americans and FBA only. It is a new day, homie.
Into stepping up, fighting their battles for them, especially these groups of people who's cool. We're letting everybody fight their own battle. And people are not about to try to shame us into stepping up, fighting their battles for them, especially these groups of people who sat up denigrating us online for the last, decade or so. Oh, we didn't forget what the Somalis online were saying about us as foundational Black Americans. Boy, they were very disrespectful. Let's be very clear. Many of these Somalis, and there's some cool ones. I'm not talking about all of them. I put that preface out there, but enough. Unfortunately, many Somalis, they are conditioned to see Black Americans as a caste beneath them even before they enter the United States. You got to understand, in many of these East African societies, Black American is framed as a lower class, culturally inferior, a group to avoid associating with. So they come over here with that. They got this weird hostility towards us. Then they start adopting that we're not Black, we're Caucasian narrative so they can gain proximity to whiteness. I recently had a Somali dude call up talking about he's really Caucasian. A lot of them think like that because on paper, they're allowed to classify themselves as white or Caucasian. So for decades, let's be real, many of these Somalis, they position themselves as Cushitic and Arab adjacent and non-Black and Caucasian. Huh? So that was a tip for them to try to get the benefits of whiteness and avoid America's anti-Blackness. Now that
they've been trying to get the benefits from white folks while latching themselves onto Black so that can benefit them as well. They've been playing both sides of the field. They've been playing both sides of the field. I am telling you what's real.
These immigration crackdowns and hit, they want to try to jump into the Black category out of convenience, and that ain't really working. So the whole, we're Black immigrants now. Oh, we're Black immigrants. That's a political shield. That's not a genuine embrace of Black identity. You know? Yeah, them running around talking about black immigrant, you doing it now because see, that softens the optics of immigration roundups. That appeals to civil rights protections built by foundational black Americans. They're trying to emotionally pressure foundational black Americans to intervene. And yeah, y'all were just saying you ain't black. So yeah, we cool. We letting y'all not be black. Y'all don't be black.
No, me no black. Me no black. No. Me no black. Okay, that's cool. You know black. You get no support from us. You know black. Please remember, stand on business. Lace your own bootstraps. You know black. We will remember that, and we will hold you accountable.
Now, all right, we're cool. We're gonna let you fight your battles. Y'all told us how y'all come over here and y'all boss up and all this stuff. Y'all remember, man, right here on Twitter Space years ago, the main people that was on here talking greasy, it was the Somalians. They were on Clubhouse talking greasy. They had got very arrogant. Then they came over here talking greasy, calling us slaves and baby mamas, and we Popeye's chicken and on crack and welfare. Y'all
Yeah, they said you black Americans don't know your father. You foundational black Americans don't know you don't know your father. You're products of promiscuity and one night stands. Foundational black Americans, you don't know your father. You don't know who you are. We don't want Somalians to follow in the footsteps of foundational black Americans. We are separated from you people. Okay, cool. Lace your own bootstraps. Stop calling yourselves black and deal with the white folks on your own time. We ain't got nothing to do with it. You guys are on your own. You're on your own.
remember? On Clubhouse, they were doing stuff like having mock slave auctions. Oh, they were calling us cotton picking slaves, and we were never slaves, nigga. You were a slave to the white man. We were not slaves like you. They were on that. Those Somalis were real heavy with that. And they thought that white society would always protect them more than foundational black Americans. And then reality hit. See, they didn't know what we knew. We tried to tell them, hey, the white supremacists, you can't really trust them like that. They ain't got your back. Shut up, nigga. You are jealous. You are just jealous of us because we work hard and the white people love us. Remember, these people, the Somalis, were saying we were jealous of them. A lot of them. They were all up and down these Twitter streets and Clubhouse streets saying that foundational black Americans are jealous of them because they come over here with $2 and then in 4 months they living in a mansion and all this bullshit they say. And we're just jealous because they work hard. They get good jobs and degrees and all that shit, and we're jealous of them. And they come over here and start bossing up. Those were some of the exact.
You jealous of us.
With $2, and then in 4 months they live in. A lot of them. They were all up and down these Twitter streets and Clubhouse streets saying that foundational black Americans are jealous of them because they come over here with $2 and then in 4 months they living in a mansion and all this bullshit they say. And we're just jealous because they work hard. They get good jobs and degrees and all that shit, and we're jealous of them. And they come over here and start bossing up. Those were some of the exact words I remember very distinctively. Some of those antagonistic Somali women, yeah, we come over and start bossing up.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They said,
And then I
hey,
would
man, they said we were bossing up, man. It is what it is. Listen, they've been talking greasy, talking crazy about foundational black Americans, telling us we don't know who our fathers are. Our mothers are promiscuous. We are products of one night stands. They come over here and work hard and outperform us. Yeah, man, they've been talking real greasy. Talking greasy ain't easy. Please believe me.
always ask, bossing up where and how? How are you bossing up? Driving Uber? Where's all this bossing up? So that's when we start getting on their bumper, you see. But they thought closeness to whiteness meant protection. They thought distancing themselves and denigrating us was going to mean safety. They thought insulting foundational Black Americans meant that they were going to have some kind of currency with white society. Now, white society is targeting them. They feel betrayed, and they're still trying to redirect their bitterness towards us. You know, they're still trying to project their vitriol towards us. Yeah, like I said, a white man made a video kind of speaking up for him, and they're like, yeah, the white man is the white people are standing up for us more than the blacks. So they're still trying to get brownie points from the dominant society, understanding it don't work like that. Yeah, y'all don't really understand how white supremacy works. Yeah, they use fools as useful idiots and useful tools. Now we understand that. That's why we really don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And there's a select Sambo class that, who we've ostracized, but we know that the dominant society, they can't be trusted when they try to mascot you into a certain position to do the dirty work for them. This is why they usually get a lot of tethers to do it, because tethers are willing and able, and they don't understand the nuances of white supremacy the way we do. They deep down want the white supremacists to like them because they've already made little janky deals over there in their homeland. Understand, they've already made these little treaties and they done already legitimized white supremacy on paper over there. So it's nothing for them to come over here and try to make another janky deal with them. And I always say this, family, us as foundational Black Americans, we're the only people, especially only melanated people. We're the only, other than North Sentinel Island, we're the only melanated people who never cut a deal with the white supremacists. We never signed a plea deal. We never signed a treaty. We've never legitimized white supremacy by going into formal business with them. It's always been resistance with us. We've always resisted them. And anytime we push for laws, we're the ones who make the laws equal. We force equal laws on the books, ladies and gentlemen. When you see equal laws over here, that was a grassroots movement from us. It wasn't the dominant white society. They wanted white supremacy. They wanted it on paper. You understand? Let me get Frankie V in here. Mr. Frankie, hop on.
Yeah, man. So listen, man, they've been playing like these people been playing both sides for a long time, man. Shout out to FBA Friedman, man. He said, I'm glad Trump is cracking down on the tethers. You have to speak English to drive commercial vehicles. A lot of their degrees and CDLs are fraud. Exactly. I'm gonna do a show. Listen, I got another show coming up too, man. It's 9:43 a.m. on the West Coast. It's 12:43 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm gonna schedule it, and we're gonna talk about North Carolina, the fraudulent CDLs, and how these people get CDLs and they're not really qualified to operate these vehicles. So we will talk about that on the second show. Shout out to FBA Friedman for the super chat.
In, bro. I remember you before. I forgot what we talked about, Frankie. Frankie, you in here?
Hey, Tariq, what's going on, man?
I'm good, Frankie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm going good, man.
Hold on one second. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. You already know. So we're gonna hold on. How many minutes we're at? The 158-minute mark. At the 158-minute mark of the show. So like I said, man, we got a second show coming up. And pull up, man. Please pull up.
Listen, a lot of my buddies from home, man, we don't like the colonization of the British, so it's a little bit different for us. Sometimes we get grouped into circles in this country. that we're not part of. We're grouped as white people, Italians that like sometimes we're not, you know. But I don't know. I think everything's in a little bit of perspective, but I love the way you break stuff down. There's a reason your spaces are always great. I just wanted to give you some love, man.
I don't know what Frankie was talking about. I was waiting for a point to be. I don't know what he's talking about. Did y'all gather what he was talking about?
Listen, man, we're gonna come back with a second show. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I want to stop this at the 2-hour mark. At the 2-hour mark of the show. Shout out to everybody for pulling on up. Shout out to everybody for tapping in. We're gonna continue to get it in. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody that's been rocking with us over here on Red Supreme, on King Supreme. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And oh, yes, when this live stream gets uploaded to YouTube, get in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Give us some engagement. And oh, yes, hype the video and like the video all at the same time. That's going to keep us in the algorithm. Shout out to the Foundational Black Americans for riding for the cause. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Hey, peace, love, and blessings. Giving you game to keep you from stressing. It's King Supreme. Hype the video and like the stream. I'll be back with another stream, and I will schedule that live stream after we shut this show down. Peace to everybody. FBA stand up. Stand on business. 10 toes down, 100%. I'm gone, y'all.